Louis was all for arranged marriages. He had read that arranged marriages lasted longer and were happier than love marriages. Yeah, go tell that to this 12-year-old girl forced to marry an old geezer. Hell of a life she's got waiting for her. Who knows where had Louis gotten that stat? Maybe from those who legally rape kids in some countries. Worse, I've read in some places men marry girls, rape them for a few hours, then dump them, leaving them disgraced by their customs, just to skirt laws against premarital sex. Arranged marriage would have suited Louis just fine. He was 45, and his dream girl was a teenager, a total knockout from a good family, and, get this, a virgin.
I only want to marry a woman like that, Lola.
That's what he told me. But guess what? Not a single woman would give him the time of day. None of them. Not the young ones, not the old ones, not the heavy ones, not the skinny ones, and not the blind ones. Wouldn't you be ashamed to walk around with such a young girl? You'd look like a filthy old man. I told him that once. But he didn't care what people said.
Let them talk, Lola. The fact is, I'd be married to a gorgeous girl, and I'd make every man with an age-appropriate wife jealous. I need you, Lola.
That was the guy who called me again saying he needed me, that he couldn't live without me. Okay, come to my place. But Louis didn't like it. He wanted to take me out for a drink, like we were dating.
Come on, just one drink.
I had to remind him, yet again, that it was at my place, in my bedroom, $300 an hour. If he wanted sex, fine. If he wanted to talk, fine. If he felt lonely and wanted me to play mommy, fine. If he wanted something weird, like that creepy priest, well, okay. But don't even start about going out as a couple. Not happening, Louis. Eventually, he gave in and showed up at my door. He looked miserable and got even more sour when I demanded payment up front or asked him to leave.
How long do I get for this money?
1 hour, that's all. I hadn't even bothered to doll up. No dress and no sexy underwear. But that only seemed to drive him crazier. I saw it in his eyes. He was more obsessed every day, and I was too dense to see it.
Lola, we need to talk.
There he went again, acting like we were some real couple. He launched into the usual spiel.
I could support you. You wouldn't have to work. We could be a real couple, you know.
Hilarious. He thought he could support me. Sure, he had a medical degree and taught at university. He loved flaunting that title, Professor of Gynecology and Obstetrics at NYU. He didn't make much money, so he couldn't do much more than scrape by. On top of being half broke, he was weird and super chauvinistic. When he first started visiting me, before his obsession kicked in, he had complained nonstop about women. Women ignored him, a genius, a doctor, a professor. How could they not adore him? He thought I should be thrilled to be dating a man like him, a professor at the New York University, no less. After all, I was just a hooker.
I know what you want, Lola. Same as every other woman. I can give you that. I'm taking you seriously.
I told him I wasn't interested in more than our business relationship, and he started crying.
Are you telling me you feel nothing for me?
No, nothing. You're a client, I've always told you that. That was a lie, though. Not always. At first, I played along since he wasn't pushy and paid well. What else could I do? Be rude. Then he started talking about making plans, even marriage.
That's what you want. It's okay. I'll marry you.
What are you saying? We don't even know each other. All that nonsense ate up half his hour, I reminded him. Louis, you are running out of time. But he kept crying.
You have no heart, Lola. You only care about the money.
I couldn't stand him anymore. I just waited for the half hour to end so I could throw him out.
I get you don't love me, but we can start from there.
His problem was loneliness. We've all been there, right? Nights felt too long alone.
Played once then.
He'd hit the movies every night to avoid feeling his home close in on him.
We get along, Lola. We got lots in common. That's a great starting point.
I thought we were like putting ketchup on ice cream. Time's almost up, Louis. 10 minutes left. It would have been better to sleep with him, disgusting as it sounded. just to avoid that fake lovey-dovey act and his whining.
I'm asking you to marry me, Lola. If you can't appreciate it, you don't deserve it.
Fine. I don't deserve it. Please, Louis, get out of my apartment. He had 5 minutes left. Then I would literally throw him out the window.
How funny! A woman like you rejecting a man like me? The world's upside down.
Damn toad face. You know, I see animal faces in people all the time. Some look like birds. Some look like foxes. Some look like lions. Louis definitely had a toad vibe. He kept ranting, and I kept telling him to go. Never call me again. But he wouldn't listen.
How funny! How funny! The world is definitely upside down.
Probably would go stuff himself at some restaurant to get over it. Before he knew it, he was outside. One less man in my life. What a relief, I thought. And then, just like that, out of the blue,
Hey Lola, what are you doing this weekend?
Charlie called me as I had expected. Literally, he had no idea what I was going to do to him on that date. But I will tell you, he didn't like it.